The school bell rang loud and sharp. Students rushed through the hallway, laughing, shouting, and pushing each other. It was just another normal day at Northview High School. Or at least, it felt normal for everyone except one person. At the front office door, a new black girl stood quietly. Her name was Aaliyah. She held her bag close to her side and looked around slowly. The walls were covered with old trophies and faded photos. Her face showed no fear, no excitement. Just calm. Very calm. Too calm for a new student. The office lady smiled and pointed down the hall. "Your class is on the second floor," she said. Aaliyah nodded. "Thank you," she replied in a soft voice. As she walked into the hallway, heads started to turn. Some students whispered. Others stared without shame. "Who is she? Never seen her before. She looks serious. She won't last long here." Aaliyah heard the voices, but she did not react. She kept walking, step by step, her face quiet, her eyes focused. She had learned long ago that words could not hurt unless you let them. Inside her mind, she repeated one rule. Stay calm. Stay invisible. She reached her classroom and opened the door. The noise inside slowly died. The teacher stopped talking. Every student looked at her. "Yes?" the teacher asked. "I'm the new student," Aaliyah said. The teacher smiled. "Class, this is Aaliyah. Please take a seat." Aaliyah walked to an empty desk near the back. She sat down, placed her bag under the table, and looked forward. She did not smile. She did not look around. She did not try to make eye contact. But someone was already watching her. At the other side of the room sat Derek. Everyone knew Derek. He was big, loud, and proud of it. He loved power. He loved fear. Teachers warned him many times, but nothing ever changed. Students stayed away from him because it was safer that way. Derek leaned back in his chair and looked at Aaliyah. A small smile appeared on his face. She's new, he thought. Quiet. Alone. Easy. He noticed something strange, though. Aaliyah's hands. They were not soft. Small scars crossed her knuckles. Her fingers were strong, tight, and steady. They did not shake like most new students' hands. Derek frowned. That's weird, he thought. But he quickly laughed it off. During class, Aaliyah said nothing. She wrote notes neatly. Her back stayed straight. When the bell rang, she stood up calmly and walked out. In the hallway, things got louder. Students pushed past her. Someone bumped into her shoulder on purpose. "Watch it," a boy said with a smirk. Aaliyah stopped for half a second. Then she continued walking. No anger. No words. This only made people more curious. At lunch, she sat alone at a small table near the window. She opened her food and ate slowly. Her eyes watched the outside world, not the room. Laughter echoed behind her. "She thinks she's better than us. Why is she so quiet? She's scared." Derek stood up from his table. His friends watched with interest. "New girl thinks she can ignore everyone," he said. "She needs a lesson." He walked toward her, loud and confident. His shadow fell across her table. "Hey," Derek said. Aaliyah did not look up. "I'm talking to you." Slowly, Aaliyah raised her eyes. She looked at him. Her stare was not weak. It was not afraid. It was calm, cold, controlled. "Yes?" she asked. Derek paused for a moment. Something about her voice felt different. Strong but quiet. "You sit in my spot," he lied. "I was told I can sit anywhere," Aaliyah replied. Some students leaned closer. They expected drama. They expected fear. But Aaliyah showed none. Derek felt his pride shake. He laughed loudly to hide it. "Whatever," he said. "This school eats people like you alive." Aaliyah closed her lunchbox and stood up. "I'm just here to study," she said. Nothing more. She walked away, leaving Derek standing there. The room felt strange. Quiet. Heavy. Derek clenched his jaw. No one had ever spoken to him like that. No fear. No respect. No reaction. As Aaliyah walked down the hall, her heart stayed steady. But deep inside, memories moved. Long nights. Hard training. Pain. Discipline. She pushed those thoughts away. "This is a new life," she whispered to herself. No fights. No trouble. But behind her, Derek watched with dark eyes. Ignoring him was not the end. It was the beginning. By the end of the day, almost everyone in school knew her name. Not because Aaliyah spoke too much. Not because she tried to be seen. but because she did something worse. She ignored the wrong person. Derek sat in the last row of the classroom, tapping his fingers on the desk. His eyes followed Aaliyah every time she moved. She walked with control. No ruse. No fear. That calm way of hers bothered him more than words ever could. Most new students try to fit in. They laugh too loud. They tried too hard. Aaliyah did none of that. And to Derek, that felt like disrespect. When the final bell rang, students rushed out like a storm. Aaliyah packed her bag slowly and stood up. She did not look back. She did not notice Derek step into the hallway behind her. The hallway was loud at first. Lockers slammed. Shoes hit the floor. Voices filled the air. But as Aaliyah walked farther down, the noise faded. Students turned into side halls. Soon, only a few people remained. Derek smiled. This was better. He nodded to two of his friends. They followed from a distance, laughing quietly. They wanted a show. Derek always gave them one. Aaliyah stopped at her locker. She opened it and placed her books inside. Her movements were smooth, controlled, like she had done this 1,000 times before. Derek leaned against the locker beside her. "So," he said, loud enough to be heard, "you think you could just come here and act better than everyone?" Aaliyah closed her locker and turned to him. "I don't think that," she said. Her voice was calm, not shaking, not loud. Derek frowned. "Then why are you ignoring people?" "I'm not ignoring," she replied. "I just don't talk much." His friends laughed. "She thinks she's smart," one of them said. Derek stepped closer. Too close. "You don't know how things work here," he said. "This is my school." Aaliyah looked at him, really looked at him. She noticed the anger in his eyes, the need to control, the need to be feared. "I just want peace," she said. "That's all. Peace." That word made Derek angry. "Peace," he laughed. "You think peace keeps you safe?" He pushed her locker door, closed with his hand. Hard. The sound echoed down the hall. A few students stopped walking. They turned to watch. Aaliyah did not step back. Her body stayed relaxed. Her hand stayed by her side. But inside her mind, something old woke up. A memory of a voice. A coach's voice. "Stay balanced. Stay ready." She forced herself to breathe. "I don't want problems," she said. Derek leaned closer, his face inches from hers. "You already have one." He knocked her books from her hands. They hit the floor and slid across the hallway. Laughter broke out. "Pick them up," Derek said. "Slow." Aaliyah looked down at her books. Then she looked back up. Something changed. Not on her face, not in her voice, but in her eyes. For the first time, Derek felt unsure. She bent down and picked up her books one by one. Calm, patient, controlled. That scared him more than anger. "Why are you acting like this?" he snapped. "You scared or something?" Aaliyah stood up. "No," she said simply. The hallway was quiet now. Everyone felt it. Something heavy in the air. Derek lifted his knee slightly. Just a joke. Just a warning. Or so he thought. "Next time," he said, "I won't be so nice." Aaliyah did not answer. She walked past him. Just like that. No tears. No checking. No words. Derek turned around fast. "You think this is over?" he shouted. Aaliyah stopped. For a moment, she considered turning back. Her fists tightened. The old fire pressed against her chest. But she let it go. She walked away. Behind her, Derek stood frozen. His friends were silent. "That girl," one of them said. "She's weird." Derek clenched his fists. Weird was fine. Quiet was fine. But fearless? That was not. As Aaliyah stepped outside the school, the sun hit her face. She closed her eyes for a second and breathed in deep. "This life is different," she told herself. "I must not go back." But far behind her, Derek made a decision. Tomorrow, he would not talk. Tomorrow, he would not warn. Tomorrow, he would show her who had power. And he had no idea. He was walking straight into his biggest mistake. The next day felt different. The air inside Northview High was heavy, like something bad was waiting to happen. Students moved through the halls, but their laughter sounded forced. Whispers followed one name. Aaliyah. She walked through the front doors, just like before. Calm. Quiet. Her bag rested on one shoulder. Her steps were steady. No one would guess a storm was coming. But Derek was already watching. He leaned against the lockers near the stairs, arms crossed, eyes locked on her. He did not smile this time. His face was hard, cold. Today was not about words. After school, he told his friends, "We end this." They nodded, excited, nervous. Aaliyah passed him without looking. But she felt it. That pressure. That feeling when danger stands close. Her body remembered it well. "Stay ready." A voice echoed in her mind. Classes passed slowly. Every sound felt louder than it should. Aaliyah answered questions when asked. Her voice stayed soft. But inside, her heart beat stronger. She knew something was coming. When the final bell rang, students rushed out fast. Some wanted to go home. Some wanted to watch. Aaliyah walked down the hallway alone. Her hands were relaxed, but her shoulders stayed loose. She turned a corner near the old gym. That's when it happened. A hand grabbed her bag strap and pulled her back. Hard. She turned just as Derek stepped in front of her. Two of his friends blocked the hallway behind. "You really think you can just walk away again?" Derek said. Aaliyah looked around. Empty hallway. No teachers. No help. "Let me go," she said. Her voice was calm. Too calm. Derek laughed. "Still playing tough?" He shoved her shoulder. Not enough to hurt. Just enough to test. Aaliyah took one step back and stopped. Her balance stayed perfect. That annoyed him. "You don't feel pain?" he asked. "I feel everything," she replied. "I just don't show it." That was when his smile disappeared. Wrong answer. Derek moved fast. Faster than before. He lifted his knee high, pulling it toward her face with anger and force. Students watching from the corner gasped. Time slowed. Aaliyah saw everything. The angle of his leg. The weight shift. The opening. Her body reacted before her mind could stop it. She stepped to the side. Her hand caught his leg midair. Strong. Precise. She twisted slightly, just enough to break his balance. Derek's eyes went wide. His knee never reached her face. He hit the floor hard. The sound echoed through the hallway. Silence. Everyone froze. Aaliyah released his leg and stepped back. Her hands returned to her sides. Her breathing stayed slow, controlled. Derek groaned. Pain shot through his body. His pride hurt worse than his leg. What was that?" one student whispered. Aaliyah looked down at Derek. Her eyes showed no anger, only warning. "I said I want peace," she said. Derek tried to stand. His knees shook. He fell back down. Humiliation burned across his face. "You think you won?" he shouted. "You think you're special?" Aaliyah took a step closer. Not threatening. Not aggressive. "I think you should stop," she said. Teachers' footsteps echoed nearby. Voices shouted. "What's going on here?" Derek's friends stepped back fast. Aaliyah turned away and walked toward the exit. A teacher rushed to Derek's side. "What happened?" Derek opened his mouth, then closed it. What could he say? That the quiet new girl dropped him with one move? That she didn't even try? Aaliyah stepped outside into the fresh air. Her hands shook for the first time. She clenched them tight. "This was not the plan," she whispered. Memories rushed back. Rings. Crowds. Blood on the mat. A referee raising her hand. She hated those memories. She wanted a normal life. Behind her, sirens approached. Teachers talked fast. Students argued. Inside the school, rumors spread like fire. She took him down. One move. He didn't stand a chance. By the time Aaliyah reached the gate, everyone knew. The quiet girl was not weak. She was dangerous. And Derek? He lay on the floor, staring at the ceiling. For the first time in his life, fear replaced anger. Because deep inside, he understood one thing clearly now. He didn't lose a fight. He woke up something that was never meant to be tested. The hallway did not feel like a school anymore. It felt like a courtroom. Students stood against the walls, quiet and wide-eyed. The sound of Derek hitting the floor still echoed in their minds. No one laughed. No one joked. Even the lockers seemed to stand still. Derek sat on the floor, holding his knee. His face was pale. Pain twisted his body, but fear twisted him even more. He looked down the hallway. Aaliyah was gone. That scared him the most. Teachers rushed in, voices sharp and loud. What happened here? Who started this? Why is everyone standing around? Derek's friends looked at each other. They wanted to speak, but the truth felt heavy in their mouths. She attacked him, one student finally said. The words sounded weak. The gym teacher knelt beside Derek. He touched the knee carefully. His eyes narrowed. This doesn't look like a simple fall, the teacher said. Derek said nothing. He could still feel it. The control, the balance, the speed. That was not luck. That was training. In the principal's office, Aaliyah sat alone. Her hands rested on her lap. Her back was straight. She looked calm, but inside, her chest felt tight. She hated this room. Questions always came here. The door opened. The principal walked in, followed by the gym teacher. Aaliyah, the principal said, "Tell us what happened." She lifted her eyes slowly. "He tried to hurt me," she said. "I moved away. That's all." The principal asked. "Yes." The gym teacher studied her closely. He noticed her posture, her breathing, the way she sat like a fighter at rest. "You train," he said quietly. Aaliyah's jaw tightened. "No," she replied. The teacher did not argue. Outside, Derek sat on a bench with ice on his knee. Students passed by, whispering. That girl dropped him. One move only. He didn't even touch her. Derek felt small. His world had changed in seconds. Back in the office, the principal sighed. "We can't ignore this," he said. "There were witnesses." "I didn't want trouble," Aaliyah replied. "I warned him." The gym teacher spoke again. "She showed restraint," he said. "If she wanted to hurt him, it would have been worse." The principal looked surprised. Aaliyah said nothing. She wanted to leave. Finally, the principal stood. "Both of you will go home today," he said. "We will talk again tomorrow." Aaliyah nodded. When she stepped outside, the sun was low. The school looked peaceful. Too peaceful. Students watched from windows. Some looked afraid. Some looked impressed. Aaliyah walked past them all. As she reached the gate, a voice stopped her. "Hey!" She turned. It was the gym teacher. "You move like someone who knows how to fight," he said. "But you also know when not to." She stayed silent. "That control," he continued, "comes from years, not weeks." Aaliyah lowered her eyes. "I don't want that life anymore," she said softly. He nodded. "Life doesn't always ask what we want," he replied. Inside the school, Derek sat alone in the nurse's room. The laughter that once followed him was gone. He replayed the moment again and again. The knee, the miss, the fall. His power felt fake now. For the first time, he felt exposed. That night, Aaliyah sat on her bed, staring at her hands. The scars on her knuckles caught the light. She remembered the promise she made to herself. No fights, no fame, no past. But the past had found her anyway. Her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "People were talking about you." She closed her eyes. At the same time, Derek sat in his room, staring at the ceiling. His knee throbbed, but his pride hurt more. He searched her name online. Nothing. No social media. No history. That scared him. Because people like her did not disappear. They hid. And when they did, it was for a reason. The next day would not be quiet. Because silence after a fall is never peace. It is warning. The next morning, the school felt different. It was not loud like usual. It was careful. Students walked slower. Eyes followed one person only. Aaliyah. She entered the building with her head down, her bag on one shoulder. Every step felt heavier than the last. Whispers moved like shadows around her. That's her. She dropped Derek. One move only. She heard them all, but she did not react. Inside, she told herself one thing again and again. Just get through the day. Derek did not come to school that morning. His name was still on everyone's lips, but his seat stayed empty. That empty seat spoke louder than words. In gym class, something unexpected happened. A substitute teacher stood near the door. He was tall, calm, and older than most teachers. His eyes were sharp. They did not miss details. His name was Coach Ramirez. When Aaliyah walked into the gym, his eyes followed her. Not like the students. Not with fear or excitement. With recognition. He watched how she walked. How she stood. How she warmed up. When students were told to jog, Aaliyah moved smoothly. No wasti motion. No heavy steps. Coach Ramirez narrowed his eyes. That walk, he thought. I've seen it before. During stretching, he noticed her balance. When others struggled, she stayed steady. He walked closer. You, he said calmly. What's your name? Aaliyah, she replied. Have you trained before? He asked. She froze for half a second. No, she said. He did not smile. Interesting, he replied. Later, the class was told to practice light sparring. Nothing serious. Just basics. Aaliyah's stomach tightened. She raised her hand. "Can I sit out?" she asked. Coach Ramirez studied her face. "Why?" he asked. "I don't feel well," she answered. He paused, then nodded. "Fine." As students paired up, he kept watching her from across the gym. He saw the way her hands rested. Loose. Ready. Not careless. After class, he stopped her near the exit. "You move like a fighter," he said quietly. "But you hide it well." Aaliyah's eyes dropped. "I don't fight anymore," she said. "Fighters don't stop being fighters," he replied. "They just stop stepping into the ring." She looked at him then. Really looked. "How do you know?" she asked. He smiled slightly. "Because I used to coach champions." Her breath caught. He continued, softer now. "Yesterday's incident," he said, "that was Muay Thai control. Clean. Sharp." Aaliyah's fingers tightened. "You shouldn't say that," she whispered. Coach Ramirez nodded. "I won't," he said, "but someone else will." Word spread fast. By lunch, rumors changed. "She's trained. Professional. Maybe a fighter." Students looked at her with new eyes. Not just fear. Respect. Aaliyah ate alone again. But this time, no one laughed. No one mocked. They watched from a distance. Across the cafeteria, Derek's friends sat quietly. Their confidence was gone. "She really dropped him," one said. Another swallowed hard. That wasn't normal. Meanwhile, in the office, the principal stared at a computer screen. An email had arrived that morning. It had one subject line: Student Record Inquiry, Aaliyah. Attached were documents. Photos. Medals. Titles. The principal leaned back slowly. That afternoon, Coach Ramirez stood outside the gym, holding his phone. He had made a call. A name appeared on the screen. He shook his head in disbelief. "World Muay Thai Champion," he muttered. Aaliyah walked past him. He looked up. "Your past is not a weakness," he said. "It's your strength." She stopped. "I don't want that life," she replied. "I want to be normal." He nodded. "But life rarely gives champions normal lives," he said. As the final bell rang, Aaliyah left the school feeling exposed, like her armor was cracking. Behind her, the truth was rising. And Derek? At home, sitting in silence, he received a message from a friend. "You messed with the wrong girl." Attached was a link. A video. A ring. A raised hand. A familiar face. His blood ran cold. Because now it was clear, he didn't fight a quiet new girl. He attacked a world champion. The video spread fast. Too fast. By the next morning, almost everyone at Northview High had seen it. Aaliyah in a ring. Bright lights overhead. A referee holding her hand high. A crowd cheering her name. World Muay Thai Champion. The quiet girl was not quiet anymore. Students stared at their phones in shock. That's her. She's famous. No wonder Derek fell. Aaliyah felt the change the moment she entered the building. The hallway did not whisper anymore. It moved away from her. Students stepped aside as she walked past. Some nodded with respect. Some looked scared. She did not like any of it. She wanted invisible. In the principal's office, Derek sat across from the desk, his knee wrapped, his head low. His hands shook. The principal spoke calmly. "Derek, you attacked a trained fighter," he said. "You put yourself in serious danger." Derek swallowed hard. "I didn't know," he whispered. "That's not an excuse," the principal replied. Derek felt small. The same boy who once ruled the hallways now looked broken. Outside the office, Aaliyah waited. Coach Ramirez stood beside her. "They know now," he said. She nodded slowly. "I try to hide it." "You hit long enough," he replied. "But truth always finds a way." Inside the office, Derek finally looked up. Can I see her?" he asked. The principal hesitated, then nodded. Aaliyah stepped inside. The room felt tight. Derek could not meet her eyes at first. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't think. I just wanted control." Aaliyah watched him quietly. "I warned you," she said. "I asked for peace." He nodded. "I know." The principal cleared his throat. "There will be consequences," he said. "But this ends now." Derek left the office slowly. His walk was different. Careful. Humble. In the hallway, students watched him pass. No fear. No respect. Only silence. Aaliyah returned to class. For the first time, someone sat next to her. "You okay?" a girl asked softly. Aaliyah nodded. "Yeah." That small moment felt bigger than any trophy. Later that day, Coach Ramirez gathered a few students in the gym. We're starting a self-defense club, he announced. Respect, discipline, control. Eyes turned to Aaliyah. She shook her head. I don't want to lead, she said. Coach Ramirez smiled. You already are. The club grew fast. Not because of violence. Because of safety. Derek watched from a distance one afternoon. His friends were gone. His throne was gone. He saw students training, laughing, learning. And in the center stood Aaliyah. Calm, focused, in control. For the first time, Derek understood real power. It was not fear. It was restraint. That night, Aaliyah sat alone again. But this time it felt different. Her phone buzzed. Messages from old coaches. Old friends. Proud of you. You never lost who you were. She smiled slightly. She had fought many battles in rings. But this one mattered more. Because she won without throwing a punch. The school slowly returned to normal. Or, at least, a new kind of normal. The fear that once lived in the hallways was gone. Laughter sounded real again. Students walked with less tension in their shoulders. Something had changed, and everyone felt it. That change had a name. Aaliyah. She did not ask for attention. She did not ask for respect. But both followed her anyway. Every afternoon, the gym filled with students. The self-defense club grew bigger each day. Boys, girls, even students who never spoke before. Aaliyah stood at the front, calm and focused. She did not act like a champion. She acted like a teacher. Control first, she said. Power comes later. She showed them how to stand, how to breathe, how to stay balanced. Her voice stayed soft, but everyone listened. Coach Ramirez watched from the side, proud. She's not teaching fighting, he thought. She's teaching confidence. One afternoon, someone unexpected walked into the gym. Derek. The room went silent. Students froze. Some stepped back. Old memories returned fast. Derek stopped near the door. His face looked different now. No anger. No pride. Just honesty. I just want to learn, he said quietly. Aaliyah looked at him. The room waited. She took a breath. Then you start like everyone else, she said. With respect. Derek nodded. That moment ended everything. No revenge. No shouting. No fear. Just growth. Days passed. Weeks passed. The story of the new girl slowly changed. She was no longer the fighter. She was the helper. Aaliyah helped students who were bullied. She taught them how to stand tall, how to speak with confidence, how to walk away when needed. One student asked her, "Why don't you fight back more?" Aaliyah smiled gently. "Because real strength does not need to prove itself," she said. One evening, the principal called her into the office. "You could represent this school," he said. "Tournaments, news, fame." Aaliyah shook her head. "I already had that life," she replied. "I want this one." The principal nodded. "You've changed this place," he said. She left the office feeling light. That night, Aaliyah stood in front of the mirror at home. She looked at her reflection. The scars on her hands were still there, but they no longer defined her. Her phone buzzed again. A message from her old coach. Champions are not made in rings. They are made in moments like this. She closed her eyes. At school the next day, Derek helped a younger student pick up dropped books. No one laughed. No one mocked. The cycle was broken. At the end of the year, the self-defense club held a small demonstration. Parents watched. Teachers clapped. Students smiled. Aaliyah stood back and let others lead. Coach Ramirez stepped up. "This club exists because one person chose control over anger," he said. "That is true strength." The crowd applauded. Aaliyah did not bow. She smiled. As the sun set behind the school, she walked away, bag on her shoulder, calm as ever. No cameras, no trophies, no noise, just peace. And somewhere deep inside, the world champion rested. Not defeated, but complete.